Hello pilots and welcome back to another X-Wing flight video brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, my name is Phil and today we have a classic matchup actually. We have First Order coming up against the Resistance. We've got Wes versus Ben and we managed to make it back in store for the first time this year. So looking forward to a fantastic game here. So we do have Assault at the Satellite Array is the mission for this. So it is area control. And it's going to be an interesting one. Wes has a lot of pieces here that are good for controlling the area, medium base, large base, 3 smalls compared to Ben's, but Ben has a very aggressive list. So let's run through those lists before we get too far into the action. Wes on the left hand side here is running the First Order. He's got Midnight in the TIFO with Elusive, Fire Control, Pattern Analyzer and Proton Rockets. We've seen Midnight be absolutely awful to people in solo match play, so we'll see how it goes here in a full game. We've got Static in the TIFO with Predator and Pattern Analyzer. We've got Major Stridan in the Upsilon with Heavy Laser Cannon and Fire Control System. We've got Gideon Hask in the G with Fanatical, Pattern Analyzer and Captain Phasma. And rounding out the list we have our third TIFO. We've got Null with Elusive and Predator. Over on the other side, Ben is running again a very aggressive list. He's got Poe Dameron with Predator, Heroic, Astromech and integrated S-foils in the T-17. This is the Herald of Hope Poe Dameron. We've got Zizi in the RZ2 A-Wing with Predator, Heroic and Proton Rockets. Zorii Bliss is there in the Resistance Y-Wing with Dorsal Turret, R4 Astromech, Wartime Loadout and Plasma Torpedoes. And we've also got Rey in the Falcon with Compassion, Heroic, Rose Tycho, Finn and the Millennium Falcon title. So again, very aggressive list there, a lot of punch. Probably going to be looking to try and whittle down one ship at a time. Plasma Torpedoes is going to be an interesting one on Zorii as well, as there are shields across the entire board there. And if played right, could one-shot one of these TIFOs, which is quite a scary prospect. But looks like we've got a bit of a cagey play coming in from Wes to start, moving Stridan further down the board. Not the most manoeuvrable thing, the Upsilon, and does not have a rear arc, which is frustrating for it, but it does have a 4 dice forward arc. So it's got the heavy laser cannon if it's got the bullseye, or if it gets range 1, 5 dice from that thing is going to be scary. Now, a couple of the interesting pieces on Wes' side, obviously Null in the TIFO, you'll see that he is initiative 0. While you are not damaged though, you treat your initiative value as 7, so he is actually out initiativing everyone on the board at this time until he takes damage. So Elusive is probably going to be quite key on there to try and keep Null nice and healthy so that he can get those early shots. Potentially strip tokens off pilots like Poe and Rey. Combination of Null and Midnight is going to be quite scary in that very early openings. Obviously we've got Gideon Hask in the G as well. We don't see it very often, but while you are a friendly small ship, a range 0 to 2 performs a primary attack against a damaged defender. If the attacker rolled 2 or fewer attack dice, it may gain 1 strain to roll 1 additional attack dice. So really beefing up some of those TIFO attacks as well, which is going to be quite fun to see. But yeah, again, still cagey moving up, getting those TIFOs a little bit in advance of the G and Upsilon. They're definitely going to be the workhorse in this. The maneuverability of them is just that much better than those two shuttles. but those shuttles do present a very interesting problem for Ben to deal with, as they are going to outscore his 3 normal ships there, so be interested to see how that goes. Ben's very much keeping all of his forces quite close together. They're going to be quite happy to joust any ship that comes up. They've got a lot of shields. They don't have, obviously, Zori's only got 1 evade. The Falcon's only got 1 as well. But with the Falcon, you've got Finn and Rose on there, which are going to be interesting, allowing Ben to add a blank result to the dice pool if it's in the forward arc. So we'll get back to Finn. So while you defend a forward pro attack, if the enemy ship is in your forward arc, you may add 1 blank result to your roll. This die cannot be re-rolled or otherwise modified. This can be, sorry. That pairs up really nicely with Rose. So while you defend a forward attack, you may spend 1 of your results to acquire a lock on the enemy ship. So fantastic there. If you've rolled a blank and you've got nothing to change it on defense, say it's Midnight or Null, grab a lock and then see if you can get that shot back in. Oh, that's a big bump there from Stridan. Always going to be tricky there. Such a large base ship trying to get through that gap there. Let's see, did he take any damage? No damage there from the bump, which is always handy. Going back to Ray, obviously with Ray's ability, while you defend or forward attack, if the enemy is, the ship is in your forward arc, you may spend 1 force to change 1 of your blank results to a evade or hit. So the combination of the 3 of those together is so common to see on the Ray Falcon. They're almost stapled on if they can fit it with the points. So going to be interesting to see how that goes and how effective that's going to be. Also being 7 points, Ray is the most expensive ship on the board, so could be something that Wes thinks, get that down quickly. There's a lot of points there to get rid of, and a lot of offense as well. Oh, the little A-Wing is getting in there quite rapidly at the moment. I think, judging by it, has probably managed to avoid all the arcs as well. We do still have Midnight and Null to move after, but looks like Zizi's going to be able to get a cheeky shot round the back at the Upsilon and start whistling that ship down. But it looks like all the action is most likely going to be happening in the mid-board here. There we go, so Ray coming in. Again, staying very close together. Other than Zizi, zooming off ahead to get into an advanced position, the rest of these resistors are sticking close together to do their absolute best to, again, probably just focus fire a ship down. If they get a nice target opportunity, they're probably going to want to see if they can get rid of it as quickly as possible. I mean, if Midnight ends up putting himself in a bit of an awkward position, that's 4 points for Midnight, and he can be a real pain. A good job that you can't get an R3 Astromech onto these TIE fighters, otherwise Midnight would be truly egregious being able to spread that lock around. We've seen it in Flight Academy, in solo and dual play. It's just brutal. Not turning to your opponent saying, right, I've got you locked, you can't modify dice. It's so bad sometimes to try and get past that. Almost basically want to fly over a gas cloud just to get rid of the locks. But here we go, Midnight is leading the charge, so that leaves Zizi with only the Upsilon to shoot at, but Zizi's probably okay with that. It's obstructed, range 2, so almost the most evade dice that Stridan can hope to get in a turn. Where's just trying to decide, does he go for the focus or does he pop that lockdown? If he pops that lockdown, where is he going to put it? Does he go straight on to Zorii and maybe focus her down as the priority, or does he look going for Ray? I agree. I think Ray is the big scary piece in there. You want to start whittling Ray down, and she's got so many ways of modifying. She's got the force, she can have focus, she can have target lock. So even if it's only against Midnight, shutting all of that mechanic down is good. Now I'm wondering, actually, with Rose, her ability, if she... Can Ray actually spend a result to get that lock? Is spending classed as modifying? I'll have a look, quick see if I've got that to hand, but it's an interesting thought. There we go, first attack of the game, it is going to be Midnight into Ray. Does have the lock and fire control, so could fire control that one, but not going to fire control. But there is the evade. We're now going to see, does he spend it to get the lock? And no shot from Poe, so that's going to be... Oh, that's a big hit, and that's going into Gideon. Ouch, 2 shields off Gideon. Yeah, not a good start for Gideon there, but good idea to take him off the board. He, again, only 4 points, but being able to boost up those TFOs to 3 dice is going to be, that's going to be quite solid. Being able to push that damage through against those resistance, but just found it in the rules clarification. So anyone that's already commented on there, thank you very much. We, again, love when we get some clarification of the comments for the rules. It helps us to make sure we're making everything right on the table, because there's obviously a lot of rules. But yes, dice modification spending. So Ray with Rose cannot spend a result to target lock Midnight if Midnight has her target lock. But Ray is going into Gideon now. That's not bad. could get the target lock or could just spend force and focus to get 4 hits through onto Gideon, which could potentially take Gideon down, because we missed it earlier, but that was actually a plasma torp from Zorii, so it took a shield off first, then did the 2 damage. So Gideon is in a rough spot right now. Looks like it has that focus, so paint will mean Gideon survives, but oh, that's a horrendous blank out. That's actually Gideon down. That's gotta hurt a little bit. You've lost quite a power piece there with boosting those FOs, and as well, if Gideon had managed to get in range to trigger Phasma as well, that could have been a very disruptive piece to have on the board. So very well played there from Ben, seeing that is one of the big danger pieces there and just focusing it down with Zorii and Poe. And now this just gives Zizi the chance to get in there and see if she can scratch the Upsilon's paint, but nothing there. But let's see if... I don't think Stridan's going to have a shot, and it'll be very long. Just checking static. Ooh, that's close. That is very close there. Definitely got Zorii, but not sure if we've quite got Ray, so holding those ships down does the template. Oh, there is resistance there, literally. So looks like we might actually have static going in on Ray. And Ray now only has a focus, or a force, sorry. So gets the blank. Paint is okay, blanks are okay. So we'll most likely spend 1 result to get a lock. And then the debate now, do you just take 2 to save the force so you're not force starving yourself, or do you... No, spending the force, only going to take 1. So 1 shield down the Falcon. That is a pretty ideal turn there so far for Ben. He's got 1 ship off the board, who is also good for area control, as counts as 2. So yeah, that's a really good exchange there. 1 shield for a whole ship. Ben has got to be happy with that, and especially when he only had 1 objective that he was controlling, means that it's 3-5 at the moment in Ben's favour. As these TIE-FOs and the Upsilon move up though, it could change quite rapidly here. But let's have a little bit more of a look at that resistance squadron there. So we already know all about Ray and all of the shenanigans she's going to be pulling out. Obviously we've got Poe in there as well, who has his 2 charges. So after a friendly ship at range 0-2 performs an action during its activation, Poe may spend 2. If you do, that ship may perform a white action treating it as red, so helping the rest of the guys out there get some extra actions. You've got Zorii, who's got Wartime Loadout, which we all love. But again, more action economy after a ship at range 1 performs an action during its perform action step. If that action is on your action bar, you may spend 1 charge to perform that action, treating it as red. So could go in, get the focus, maybe Poe comes in and does a lock, and then Zorii goes, okay, I'll get a lock as well. So quite nice. And Zizi's pilot ability, after you defend or form an attack, you may spend 1 focus to gain 1 charge to gain 1 focus or evade token. So because that's gain a token, you can do that while stressed because you're not technically doing an action. Oh, that Yep, that is hitting the gas clouds so close there, though. Crucially not landing on the gas clouds, so we'll be taking a strain. Does Zizi get ioned here? Wouldn't necessarily be. So yeah, Zizi is taking an ion. Not terrible, but less than ideal there. Especially considering she's now got a static pointed right at her as well. So reduction in the evade department there for her. Ideal time to try and take on the A-Wing, where it's only got 2 evade dice rather than 3. And Falcon versus Upsilon coming up. Looking forward to seeing this big punch up. Lots of dice can be thrown between those two. That's range 1. That should be range 1. That's a 5 dice roll there from Major Stridan. That's going to be an interesting one to see. Yeah, the maneuverability of the Upsilon is the one thing that sort of is the big drawback on it, but you get it in the right position. A 5 dice primary shot. That's scary and that's unfortunate. Zorii is bumping into Rey. Doesn't take damage this time, which is good because Ben is notorious. If his ships bump themselves, he is notorious within store for pretty much always taking damage when he bumps his own ships. Now Poe coming in. Poe doing good, not hit bumping there, so he will actually have the opportunity to take some actions. Locke moved on to Stridan, who I think, yes, is the next big power piece. 6 points, 5 dice, range 1 shots. Just a lot of health to chew through as well. So, taking the focus instead. And giving Zorii the ability to take the focus as well. Interesting. That's using Poe's ability there. Would have thought the target lock would have been better there for the plasma torps, but and Null coming to see if he can get back into the fight and get some shots. So looks like we could have 2 FOs coming in at Zizi there. Not the most ideal. I think that ideally Wes would probably want to be going into Rey to try and see if he can get as much damage in there, because again, the Rose Finn Rey combo, we just know how powerful it is. And then if you need it, you got Heroic there to back that up as well. But there's an awful lot now in a moment that Stridan is going to have to weather, because all 4 of those ships will be shooting Stridan. There's no question about that. Evade there from Rey, so no worries. midnight facing the wrong way, so Poe is going to be first up, just trying to figure out if it is what the range there is. Looks like range 3. See how many dice where's for us. I think he's just put one back, so I think it's... Oh no, we are going to mark up the Falcon just to be 100% sure. It's very close. You need it to be down actually on the map to confirm. I think, again, no pun intended, I think we saw some resistance there between on the template, so I think that is actually just in range 2. And impose lock, we've got a couple of results there. Blank out, unfortunate. Dice can did start slipping, unfortunately, so we were losing some of it towards the top. That is 3 shields down on Stridan. That is a great start for Ben. Looking at the shots we've got left, we've got Ray's going to have, so this will be Zorii. Another shield down on Stridan. That's now 4 shields down. Does he go for Zizi now at range 1? Yes, it's Zizi. Got Predator. Oh, 2 crits in there. Oh, that is a very well timed evade, only losing the last shield, so no evades, actually no crits taken there, which is brilliant. But it does leave it all on the hole now for Ray. Range 1. Oh, I mean, it's spend force and focus and get all of that right. Get 4 hits. 4 hits and a crit into Stridan there. Gets the evade, so that is 3 hits and a crit going into Stridan. So he will survive this. Even with a direct hit, it'll be 1 hole left. So Stridan is still up, despite Ben's best efforts there. That was a bloody good attempt, if you ask me. Slight misfire from Zorii and a couple of evades that snuck in there, and that could have been a very different story. That could have been Ben up to 11 points. But Ben Wes continuing to go into Ray there. Not a bad shout, to be honest. Again, I probably could have been tempted to go into Zizi, but if everything goes into Ray, see what we can put through. So no way of modifying that. So Ray is definitely going to take that, but can look at moving the target lock if she chooses. So now it's down to Stridan with the big 5 dice shot. Oh, that's not bad. Nothing to modify, but 2 hits, 2 crits. So we are definitely seeing 2 crits going through. So that is double blank. So that is shield, hit, double crit. Heroic though, always handy to have, so it will be a shield and double crit there. Just for reference, Stridan's crit was a hull breach. And the target lock is being moved over to Stridan to see if we can make sure we take him out next turn. Let's see what crits Ray gets. Console fire and a fuel leak. Not a great combination, not the worst. If console fire hull breach would have been even worse, because if you don't repair one of those and the console fire triggers and causes damage, that's a face up. So, but that actually ties it back up now. 6 points all. The objective hold for Wes there was solid. You obviously got both the right hand objectives, the bottom left, the middle was contested, and Ben only got top left. So solid objective play from Wes to bring it back to a tie game going into turn 4. And I don't think Stridan is going to be getting through there, I'm afraid, but that could cause some serious issues for other ships moving up later. It's going to make it difficult if Ray wasn't doing something quick, but I'm not sure if Zorii and Poe had anticipated such a interesting move there. What is one thing you don't see that often is such high initiatives on one side. Obviously, you've got a 6 and 3 5s on Ben's side, as opposed to a 6 and 3 4s and a 7/0. So, bump there from static. Looks like no damage taken though. Zizi's ion move manages to clear quite nicely. Won't have Stridan it up, but at this point you think that it's likely that Stridan is probably going to be going down anyway. So that dial flip there. Is that Ray or Zorii? I can't quite tell at this point. Okay, it looks like it's Ray. Only doing, not going to be able to actually move away there, but probably okay with that until we get to Zorii's move, which means Zorii's not going to move, but could be taking damage. And there we go. Once again, Ben's luck when it comes to bumping his own ships comes back into play, and Zorii does lose one of her many shields. Poe as well, unless was doing something very unexpected, is just going to bump straight into Ray as well. Whilst not allowing them to take any actions, and Poe takes damage as well. Whilst not being able to take any actions, probably not too bad. Still going to have a shot into Stridan, so be very unlikely that Stridan will survive this. And now we've got Midnight coming into a good position to look at possibly going into Zizi. I reckon we'll see Null just move up and see if we can start getting some more damage into Ray. If Stridan survives this, I'll be very impressed, but Well, there you go. Interesting choice now for Zizi. Obviously, he has Predator and a Focus. You know what? Not interesting choice. I reckon we're going to see a Procket straight into Null here in a moment, if that Focus is still there. Zizi's great, though, when you think about it, because her ability, after you defend or forward attack, she can gain that Focus or Evade token. So if she's being attacked by something that's a higher initiative or has road priority, can spend that focus in defense if needed and then just get it back with her ability. But very smart barrel roll there from Null, getting out of that bullseye, because a Predator Proton Rocket with Heroic on there as well, although if you trigger Heroic on Prockets I'd be very impressed. Not ideal. But let's see here. So it's going to be Null, followed by Poe, followed by Midnight. You've got to take that range 1 onto... Yeah, range 1 onto Zizi when you've got it. Just the one, all evaded. Unfortunate there. Zizi's token has been flipped though, taking that evade ready for the inevitable shot from Midnight. Let's see, Poe. I mean, Poe's going to be going Stridan. We don't even need to question that. It's just what the range is. I'd be shocked if it's got to be range 1. You're bumped into the ship it is bumped into. There's no chance it's not range 1. So, 4 dice in Stridan, no modifications. This is where it's going to get scary for Stridan. Oh, we can't see the top dice, but that is not good. That is nothing from Poe. That's really unfortunate there for Ben, with Poe scoring no damage there. Zorii coming in again can't. Again, unfortunately, the dice cam wasn't tightened up enough, so it slipped a little bit, so we're missing a lot of it. But let's have a quick look. Looks like that was again fully evaded. How? I still think Stridan is probably going to go down this round, but Poe and Zorii, having now spent their shots into Stridan and got nothing, is just incredibly unfortunate. Because ideally you'd want Poe to take out Stridan, then Zorii and Rey can then start going into the other TIE fighters, but so 2 hits, this could be it. Just there we go. Blank out there from Stridan. So Stridan does go down. So whilst we don't get a big shot from Stridan now, and that is a big 6-point score by Ben, he had to use all 3 of his ships that could to shoot at Stridan to take it down. So that leaves the rest of those FOs absolutely free and clear now. You could have, I mean, if Poe had done that, you could have seen Zorii taking a shot at Midnight, or Static, sorry, and then Rey taking a shot at Static or Null and possibly wiping one of those off the board, and that would have been another 3 or 4 points there potentially. That's, again, these red dice have not been good for Ben. That's unfortunate. Just 1 hit from Zizi and it's evaded. This is not the turn Ben was expecting from that position. It's almost like with Poe and Zorii bumping into Ray, it's thrown their aim off a little bit. I'm going to get the heroic trigger again on Ray, and it comes in good this time. Okay, so round 4, interesting round. Unfortunate for Ben in the amount of resources he had to spend to take out 2 hit points on the Upsilon. It is down though, which does mean that that is big point scoring. So 6 points for Stridan. We're looking to see if we missed a shot. Looks like Midnight missed. Midnight forgot to shoot, but they're going back and letting Ben do it, which is nice. Absolutely fine. Got the evade there, so no change to the state of the board here. But gonna look at the scoring at the end of turn 4. Looks like just the 1 point for Wes and 2 for Ben. So gone from 6-all to 7-14 in Ben's favour. Now, while we're waiting for those dials to go down and see what happens the next round, just want to remind you guys, if you do like what we're doing here at Out of Art Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. The link is in the description below. It does give you access to some extra info about what we're up to, what we've got planned, and also when we get round to it, and yes, we are going to be doing Flight Academy in the next couple of months, you'll get early access to the list as well to see what our pilots will be flying. So the link for the Patreon is in the description below. There's now 3 TIE-FOs against the entirety of this resistance list. A very tall order for the First Order, but they could still, it's still within the realms to do it. I mean, Ray is shields down, so focus Ray down, that's 7 points. That can bring it back to a tied game as long as no FOs go down. But all of Wes's points at the moment are from objectives, so big scoring on the objectives except for that last round. But yeah, oh, nice position from Ray. Probably going to cause a bump onto Null there, possibly even onto Midnight. But don't forget, we've obviously got the console fire and fuel leak on Ray as well. That could prove very powerful, to be honest. And also a big question for those of you out there that are watching the channel. Firstly, thank you very much for continuing to watch. We do really appreciate that. We'd be interested in if there's anything else you would like to see on the channel, X-Wing wise or otherwise. Do you want to see more Flight Academy? Would you like to see more Mario Kart? Any other variations? Epic? Any particular sort of matchups you'd be looking for? If there's something you'd like to consider seeing on the channel, pop a comment down there and let us know, because we're always interested to see what other things we can get on the channel. We are looking to expand our horizons. We will be doing the Legion tournament at Beachhead this year. Unfortunately, no X-Wing for us. Mainly because of the reasons that we had last year for taking a slight pause. By the time we're in a position to sort of say, look, can we do it? There was no space for X-Wing this year at Beachhead, but we are going to be running the Legion tournament, so we're going to be getting some Star Wars Legion on the channel again soon. But if there's any other X-Wing content or other you want to see, let us know in the comments. We'll be interested to hear what you would be looking forward to seeing on the channel. And also impressively, that was not a bump for Zorii. Zorii managed to make that this time, as well as Poe. So a bit of a turnaround there. No bumping for Ben this round. That is going to be very powerful there. Spending a charge. He is now double modded. Focus and lock down there on Null. Ben is looking to see if he can wrap this game up now. Wes just trying to get some of those tokens out of the way so he can actually put Midnight where he wants to be. I do like having the force tokens by the ship. Sometimes it's nice to be able to actually visually see it as well, not having to look over and try and find the card. Especially for when we're doing the overlay on this as well. It makes it nice and easy for us. But we do have Ray very much in a box there. So I think I know where Wes is going to be shooting, and it is a good set of shots there. 3 range 1 shots towards Ray, and Null will get to shoot before everything comes at them. So just double checking that forward arc to see if we can get the blank on there. Looks like we, to me it looks like we do. Ooh, 2 hits into Ray, good start. Oh, maybe it wasn't in the forward arc, so gets 1. Interesting, so 1 more in there. Oh, gonna be going into Null. And the elusive trigger. Okay, so that shields down on Null. Critically though, Null is not damaged yet, so that does mean that Null remains at initiative 7 at this point. And obviously, whilst we were there playing, there was that whole the standard one of what classes as damaged is if you have taken a face down or face up card is damaged. Shields down is not damaged, it's only if you have lost a hull point view class as damaged. Do we have... Oh, we've got Bullseye, we've got Rockets from Midnight into Ray. Could this be it? Hit, crit. So we've got through, we've got the focus. Spend that focus, and it's going to be 3 hits and a crit with a fuel leak. That oh, that is going to be Ray down. Oh, spending a force to pull that back. Now, I think possibly that we might have had fuel leak repaired, because it looks like Ray is up with 1 at this point. So I believe fuel leak might actually have been repaired earlier. We just missed it when we were doing the overlay. But Ray is pivoting there and going straight in at static. Good shout. If Ray can somehow take out static, that means Ray will survive, but Ray is in an awkward position right now. He's only gone and done it. He's only gone and taken static out. that quick pivot, compared to what we have with Stridan, that is absolutely insane. Quickly just to think, right, Static's the only one that has a chance of shooting me now. I've got to take it out before anything happens. What a pivot there. What a pivot. We do need to see if the console fire takes Ray out though. So hopefully they'll remember the console fire shortly. But that was incredible. Marking up to check the range there. And also check out if Zorii has... I mean, from here it looks like it's in, but the angle of the camera can be quite deceptive. Console fire does not take out Ray. Zorii does not take out Null. That leaves it down to Zizi. Just the one. Oh, we got Predator. So no damage. That was actually into midnight there. Again, unfortunately, didn't have the focus to get that Proton Rocket off, but we are going to count up those objectives, and I think that is actually going to swing it into Ben's favour there. Middle one is definitely Ben's. Yeah, that is actually going to swing it into Ben's favour there right at the last. Taking Static out there was such a good play. Kept Ray up and absolutely helped score those last 3 points that he was going to need. So very well played there from Ben, getting to those 20 points. Just other than those bumps and the unfortunate of how long it took to take Stridan down earlier, very well played there, Ben. Like, focus fired down what he needed to. Good strong play there from Wes, though. It was unfortunate that Stridan didn't get a chance to get another shot, because that would have been the big difference. And so close to taking Ray out. If he'd managed to get that extra point in, taking Ray out, Static would have been up, and we'd have had a much longer game there. But 8 points to 20 in Ben's favour. Well done to Ben. Great game there from Wes as well. So thank you both of those two for playing on the channel for us. But guys, that is another game of X-Wing brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. As always, just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.